Yo, what up? It's the Grind Squad up in the building, and we're here to talk about some Warframe. So guys, today we dive in to the sensation that has come to dominate all consoles. PS4, PC, Xbox, everything that you could look for. And of course the Xbox Series X, the PS5, and apparently potentially the Nintendo Switch. Still waiting for that to happen. So as it is, this has been a development ongoing from Digital Extremes. Launched in 2013, Warframe was pretty much their second actual attempt at making an interesting high science fiction video game, involving very interesting and borderline grotesque models, some unbelievably creative Warframe designs, some incredible storytelling. The lore is immense in this game. There's really just a lot to get through. First and most important thing when you're jumping into Warframe that I need to warn you is that your first selection is going to impact how you play. Like Pokemon, you have 3 to pick from when you start, and though you are able to get the other 2, it's going to be quite a lot of work. Grind Squad. So let's talk about the process of actually acquiring the Warframes. Now, I'll tell you why these type of games are known as grind, because it is going to be like a second job. But at the same time, you put in the effort and you will reap rewards non-stop. Arguably one of the best cycles of work for a reward I've ever come across. These type of games tend to have a flaw in them. Free to play usually relies on the existence of the aspect of the fact that you are going to pay for in-game items, and potentially, like Candy Crush, you're going to pay for progression. So with a game like this, the fact that everything that you have to achieve or everything that you wish to achieve in Warframe is up to you and up to how hard you work is what makes it more entertaining. Don't get me wrong, the processes are incredibly difficult, and this is a game you are going to need someone to hold your hand when you get into it. Warframe isn't the type of game you can just sort of pick up and play. Sadly enough, it does require a little bit of assistance in figuring out why you're doing what you're doing, as there are many different facets to this game. Each mission does run on a fairly simple loop. Everything is pretty much a small contained area. There are some open world segments, but even they have, sadly enough, borders and limitations. Ultimately, you're on a series of missions. Your missions can range from a spy mission in which you have to extract information quietly without setting off any alarms, all the way through to a classical extermination mission, which of course is the joy of killing everything around you. But at the end of the day, whether you look at Warframe as a way of earning through hard work, or whether you look at Warframe as a way of relieving stress from a long tough day and maybe some extra tough bosses, either way, I think it works for most people, and I think it's a game that could be worth investing in. Now, in all fairness, it is not the most graphically heavy game I've come across, but each patch does update it, so it would be useful to have a PC that should be running pretty much anything between a 2 to 4 gigs graphics card, 8 gigs of RAM, etc. You know, the base setup, a Core i5 processor, if you can make it happen. That would be my suggestion. Or else I would simply rather look for it on a PlayStation or on an Xbox. It's already optimized for those devices, so it'll be perfect to play there. Outside of that, if you can, join communities, definitely. I strongly suggest looking into it in that regard, because that's also the greatest part of Warframe. Community play. What I enjoy the most is, unless you have a sadistic friend, or unless you really need the competition, it's fully a cooperative game, and that's what the joy comes in. You see, what I like about the Warframe community is, though no community can be called bar toxicity, they definitely have one of the lowest I've seen. This is a community that actually wants to help each other get better. The competitive streak might be taken out of it, but the competition isn't really against the other players, but more against maybe yourself, maybe against people in your clan, to see which kind of frames you can get, what kind of insane weapons, what kind of awesome mods you can place on your frame, what sort of insane abilities can you upgrade to. You know, Warframe's a game that has a lot of people connecting together and assisting. I remember my first days on the PlayStation, I had assistance from a kid in the UK who honestly just contacted me via a forum, and he was really awesome. He really guided me through this game. I mean, realistically, I could have just continued on the way I was, just randomly attacking missions, not even knowing what each part does, not even understanding what I'm actually doing, how to build a new frame, how to access certain missions, how to build things like an archwing to be able to access types of missions, how to get a K drive so I can, you know, zoom around faster, which I still haven't acquired, but you know, he helped guide me through, and that's what I love the most about Warframe, is that it's a game where people can guide each other through. As it is right now, I do have a friend helping me as well, and he's just made it that much more fun. And it's a game that when you do have people to play it with, it can be great. It can be a game that you can drop and you can forget about it for a very long time. To be honest, that's very easy, but I think that's what I love the most about it. It's the type of game that even if you walk away from it, you probably will pick it back up. So that's another reason I look strongly into suggesting Warframe for anyone, because it's not the type of game that you'll just easily give up on. Ultimately, the way I see it, it's quite a brilliantly put together game. The movement is incredible, and as they've gone from strength to strength with each update, though it is a bit update heavy, they've created a really fun, engaging, and actively entertaining looter, third-person shooter, action adventure. It's really just one of the most rewarding, and I know I've used that term a lot, but it's a key term in the gaming world, because at the end of the day, you don't want the loop to be exhausting. In-game currency does feature. You do mostly trade in a currency known as plat, which buys the most important things, which would be Warframe slots and additional Warframe parts if you want to skip ahead. But like I said, you can grind out for each of those parts, though it is a lot of work, especially if you want to build some really amazing frames. So yeah, if you're ready to put it in and you're ready to grind it out with the rest of the squad, then this is the game for you. So Warframe, my recommendation, and I would give it a great 8.5 out of 10. Only thing I'd knock back is sometimes the grind can be a bit horrendous, but simultaneously, if you've got the time and you've got the effort, it's perfect for you. So that's my verdict, and that's how I see it. I think you guys should give it a try if you can, and hopefully if you do, holler at me. I'd love to play with you guys and would love to help you through. And that's my review, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking it through if you did make it through to the end. I really do appreciate it. The support is very much appreciated. I'm planning to get back into a regular cycle as soon as possible. There have been a few interferences, but you don't need to worry about all of that. All we need to know is that we're back at it. And yeah, thanks for partaking with us, and please stay tuned and stay subscribed to GeekAfrique. Oh, and please like and share.